Hey everyone, welcome back to X-Plane 11. That is Bunker's favorite thing that I say, so I have to give him a shout out because he's my biggest fan. So, hello Bunker. I'm back in the C-47, the cargo variant of the DC-3, and we are at Princess Juliana on St. Martin, which is the famous low approach beach people hang out because they're stupid runway. It makes for really cool approaches. But I wanted to do this flight because I have been doing this a lot lately with some other planes, and it's really, really fun. So I wanted to show you guys this flight that I've been doing, and also fly this thing again and show you something that I found out about it. If you saw the first flight video I did with this plane, again, this is a beta, a freeware beta version, so it's not even a completed freeware plane, and it looks absolutely fantastic. So in the first video I did with this plane, I couldn't figure out how to close the cargo doors and remove the wheel chocks. So I was flying around like a jackass with the doors wide open, and I could not for the life of me figure out how to close it. I did some poking around online and found out that the doors are actually mapped to the battery button. So when I was starting the plane, I put it on external, batteries came on, all that's great. Turn the engines on, put on the generators, turn it back on to DC power plane, think everything's great. The problem is this button is actually the one mapped to the doors. So we're in DC plane power, doors open, chocks on. Go in here, go to external power, lights come on, and the door closes and the chocks go away. So quirky little thing, beta, not a big deal, but I'm glad I found that out so I could actually fly this plane again. So, no checklist, but I'm going to get this thing started. Let's get the inverter on. I'm not going to use a checklist, I'm just going to kind of do it. So, the mixture is not clickable on the screen, so you have to use the key bindings for that. So, full mixture. Let's get the fuel pumps on. Let's start with the right engine, so let's get that primed, and let's do quarter throttle, and there is the engine, there is the starter. Fire up, buddy, come on. Didn't want to do it. Okay, what did I not turn on? Generators. Sweet. Oh, jeez, the freaking mags. Okay. Oh, there you go. On. Love it. Okay. That's the benefit of a checklist, is you don't forget to do really stupid things like that. Okay, so left engine. Just get that started. Oh, I love how it just shakes too once you get both of those started. I do have the props all the way up also. And one of my favorite things about this plane is the sound. Let's listen to that. I mean, it just has that like really bassy, thunderous radial engine sound to it. De-icer, no. Pitot, heat, no. Beacon, yes. Nav lights, yes. Taxi lights, no. Landing lights, yes. Cabin lights, no. No smoking, yeah. This is a non-smoking flight. Fasten seatbelts, yes. We are very safe. Anti-collision, we don't want to do that. Okay. All the lights are on. Landing lights are on. I'm just gonna probably leave those on. And we're in business. Look at that freaking thing. Okay, so where are we going? We are on St. Martin here, Princess Juliana, and we are going to just right here. This is St. Barts, and this is the runway we are going to be landing on, runway 10. And if you don't know about St. Bart's, let me show you this. This is the approach at St. Bart's for runway 10. It's the most insane thing you've ever seen. The videos are incredible of watching the real world pilots do this. It's totally crazy. I am actually running the default X-Plane 11. Like, look at that. Give me a break. How cool is that? The default X-Plane 11 scenery does not have that hill at the same height that it is in real life. It's barely there. The fence is there, but that's pretty much it. It's a little bit there, but it is in the stock configuration. It still is a difficult approach and a difficult runway to land on, even without that hill. There is a Payware scenery pack that you can get that is a lot truer to real life, which I really need to get that. But I wanted to fly this plane again, and I've been doing this flight a lot lately because it's so much fun. You've got a fun departure to a fun arrival, and you get it both ways coming back. So both of these airports have kind of tricky takeoffs and landings, so it's fun to do it, and I wanted to have an excuse to fly this again, show you the closed door, and see if I can actually land this thing at St. Bart's, because I don't think I can. Honestly, don't think I can. Okay, so first off, the departure from Princess Juliana in this thing is not going to be that hard. This pops up immediately. It doesn't need any runway to take off. So that's all. Flaps up, gear up. There goes the gear, and it just wants to take off immediately. And that plane is absolutely gorgeous. Okay, let's get the landing off. I remembered that. Okay, so if you're going faster and you got a full plane and you need the full runway, you've got to make your decision really quick, because if anything happens, you're going to run right into that. So going this slow, we don't really have to worry too much about it, but you take off from Princess Juliana and you immediately head, not really a hard right, but kind of a hard right, to roughly, in between, basically heading 130, and that's going to take you right to St. Bart's, which is right here. So that's the flight. It's not far at all. It's probably better if you just take a boat, but especially considering how dangerous the landing is. But there are planes that run essentially a taxi to and from Juliana St. Maarten to St. Bart's. And that's what I've actually done, because it's so much fun to do, is take off from here, go to St. Bart's, do the crazy landing, drop passengers off, whatever, take off again, come back here, do a really low approach, which looks freaking amazing, and just keep doing that. And I've done it as many as 3 laps, and it's a lot of fun. You don't want to get too high. This plane is really fighting me here and wants to just balloon up, but 2,000 feet is actually probably even too high. I've done it where I was about at 1,500 feet at the highest, and that seems to be a pretty good altitude, regardless of what plane it is. You don't need to take too steep of a descent on the standard scenery, because that hill isn't there, but 1,500 to 1,000 feet is plenty high, and it's not like it's too low where you can't do it safely. So I'm going to try to keep it below 2,000 if possible. It really wants, like, okay, I'm gonna let go of the stick and just neutral. Watch what it does. Just go straight up. So don't want it to do that. And okay, so you have the hill, which makes it really hard. You have to push the nose down and then immediately flare it up in order to make the runway. On top of that, it's a short runway. And on top of that, you need to know the landmarks in order to set up the final approach. So right now, you can't see the airport. There's no runway anywhere along here. It is behind this hill right here. So I know, having done this, that if I fly right towards this, I don't know what you call it, this little bay here, around this hill, that's going to line me up perfectly for runway 10. If you don't know that and you're trying to fly a visual approach into here for the first time, you're totally screwed, because you're not going to see the runway until you're on top of it, and at that point, you know, you'll probably be too high, and if you're too low, you'll just run into the scenery. So here's 1,200 feet, and I'm going 200 miles per hour apparently. I didn't realize this thing was that fast. So pulling back big time on the power. Throttle, pulling back. There's 180. I want to get it down to like 120. I like how everything is, there's not a lot of clutter. Everything's pretty easily findable and labeled. It's pretty nice. Okay, so there is 120, and I'm plenty low, so I can get the nose up and slow down even more. There's the first flaps, 700 feet. Still can't see the runway. Still can't see it. I'm going to get one more notch in there and get the gear down. Let's check it out. Good. Okay, so because the default scenery has the hill not as high, you can see the runway a lot earlier than you can in the upgraded scenery or from the footage I've seen in real life. So there's the hangar, there's the airport right there. So this hill where all these cars are going is going to be like 30 feet higher probably. So it's obscuring most of this. And there is the runway right there. So you're, with a proper hill height, you're just seeing the end of the runway. So your focal point, you're aiming for the end of the runway. Not where you actually have to land. And got a nice side wind here. Every time I've flown this, the wind has always been in the same direction, but it does fluctuate a little bit, and it can be a pretty substantial crosswind, which definitely doesn't make this easier. Try to not make this as steep as I normally would, because I am really bad at landing tail draggers. Carb ice expected. Carb ice is F11, or carb heat is F11, and that is binding only in this plane. The actual carb heat switch, or whatever the hell it actually is, doesn't work. So it still has the fence where people stand to watch planes land, but there's no hill there. Oh, there's one bounce, two bounce. That was a little hard. Tail down. Let's not run off the runway. Should be okay. Oh my gosh. Okay. That was not bad. I thought that was going to be a lot. Thought that was going to be a lot worse than it was. I'm going to go in the outside view to turn this thing around. Maybe, actually, can I do this? No, I cannot. That's not clickable either. Might have to do a little bit of off-roading. Yep, little off-roading. That's okay. We'll just pretend that we had some help and somebody pushed the tail around. Get up there, come on. Okay, I'm gonna pause this, outside view, replay. Nope. Nope again. Yeah, so this hill right here is like 30 feet higher. Okay, one bounce. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I mean, I'm off center like crazy. Probably could have slowed that down a little bit sooner. All right, for being terrible with tail draggers, that could have been a lot worse. Cool little end of the runway view. Whoa, whoa. All right. Well, that was fun. Okay, so now we have to maneuver this thing around here, not go too fast. Yeah, the wingspan is too big for this airport. Among other reasons why this wouldn't actually work, but that's a big one. Oh, holy crap, that turned way quicker. Where are you going, dude? What the hell? Okay, so what I'm gonna do is not worry about that. Okay, somebody helped us. That looks alright, right? Not legit, but whatever, it's okay. All right, take off again. So usually I would just like pull in here and taxi back out. Sometimes not even shut the engines off, but it is kind of fun to go through the checklists if it's a plane that I'm trying to learn. Okay, so let's get a notch of flaps. Let's get brakes off, and let's get power. And this is kind of like a mini version of Princess Juliana in terms of the departure. You're just facing a hill that you immediately have to avoid. Flaps up, gear up, landing lane off, and turning. So take off, short runway, downhill, and then turn left before you hit the hill. And there are a couple of islands out here that you just want to fly right over. I usually aim, there's like a weird rock formation right here. There it is. So I usually kind of aim for that and go over, that way you're not cutting this too close, and then fly over this little island. Okay, so I'm gonna not climb as high as I did last time. I'm gonna try to stay level here. Okay, so this is St. Maarten. Bye-bye, St. Barts. And again, I try not to get too high because you really don't need to. You don't need altitude in this, because you're so close to just being on your approach. It's such a short flight. Still climbing. That's not cool. Okay, so there's 2,000 feet. I can probably get the nose down a little bit and help with some airspeed. Look at the textures on that. That looks so real. It's fantastic. What the hell is that? Wiper hydraulic. Check those little cuties out. I wouldn't necessarily want to rely on those to see out. I still can't believe that this is a freeware plane. They even have like dirt in the crevices there. Fantastic texturing. Okay, so Princess Juliana, St. Maarten. We're going to be flying. This is the hill that you try to avoid when you're taking off. And we're going to fly right past it, and you can just see on the end here, that's kind of like the main town where the airport is. So you fly diagonally, and you're not quite catching the downwind. It's kind of like a 45-degree angle, a little bit 45-degree downwind, and then you can kind of make it into a long base leg. And if you're at an okay altitude and you haven't gone too high, then you can do the really fun low approach, which in replays, I can't tell you enough how cool it looks. I want to try it with every single plane in this game because it looks so awesome. And that's why I wanted to use this plane, because it's such a beautiful plane, and to do a low approach, excuse me, at St. Maarten's in it is going to look awesome. Right there. And this is held on with bungee cords. There's a bunch of really cool details in here. So skateboard, crap, look what you're doing. I really haven't flown this plane much at all. I mean, I haven't since that first flight video, because I wanted to find out how to close that cargo door. So since I've figured that out, I'll probably be flying this a little bit more. I don't know how many more videos it needs, but I'll at least be flying it around. Okay, so here's the airport, here's the runway. So we're not quite parallel, but it's pretty close. And what I'm gonna do, is that a little Cessna or something taking off? I'm gonna make just kind of like a nice arc, and not really do like right angle approach pattern, and just. That's why it's not really like a 45 downwind. It's like a arcing big base leg. So when I get the airport over, my right wing, I can turn onto it and low enough where I can maintain a really shallow glide slope. And that is only for the replay. Give some tourists a haircut. Let's take off. So just kind of still making that arc, that big arc, and turn. Let's keep the sight a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna pull back on the power. I'm probably going 200. So slow way down. 1,400 feet. Yep, there's the runway. Okay, I gotta slow it down for the flaps so I don't overspeed and tear them off. We're under 1,800, so I can pull up now. Get the airspeed down. There it goes. Airspeed down. Maybe. There it is. Okay. Okay. So first flaps. Gear down. Second flap. I'm only going to do half flaps because I want to keep this shallow. I don't want to lose too much speed. And it like immediately ballooned up. I was at like 500 feet and it just like pops up 400 feet immediately. But we're still plenty far back to get back down. But I want to buzz that fence. I want the wheels to just clip the fence. There's 400 feet. Gonna buzz this fence. It's gonna be cool. Nice. I don't think we bounced. Power down. Tail not down yet. There, it's down. Tail down. I don't know. I feel like that was my best landing yet in this thing. I can't wait to see this. Okay, let's get over here. Okay. Replay. Okay, I'm gonna do. Look at it from the follow cam first. Whoop, dropped out a little bit. Oh, so close. Touchdown, a little hop. There's some, it's not graphically showing that it's touching, but I don't think it hopped. That looked like a good landing. God, that's cool. Okay, so I'm going to pause this and go to this view. And let's get over to the tourist spot. So this is where everyone stands, which is right next to the signs that say "Don't stand here." Of course, everybody does anyway. All right, here it comes. That sand looks terrible. But that plane looks so cool. Oh yeah, it got really low right there. Oh my god, awesome. Oh, that is so cool. Watch it again? Yeah, let's watch it again. Let's get maybe a slightly different angle. That's so awesome. That is the coolest. Should be a good view here. I'm sorry if you don't want to continue to see this, but I do. I can't get enough of how cool this looks. Landing lights aren't on. That's awesome. Look at that. Like, that is seriously the coolest thing. Might be a good thumbnail, actually. Awesome. Alright guys, well thank you for letting me show you this flight. I have so much fun doing this. It's challenging, it's pretty scenery. It's been really good practice for me to have kind of challenging takeoff and landings in short succession without having to do touch and goes, because pattern work in a simulator I feel like isn't super fun, but this is really, really fun. And in a plane like this, I'm probably not going to do this again in this plane because it's really not made for the St. Barts runway. That's too stupid. But here's kind of fun, flying around these islands. Might try to find a closer, more appropriate airport. But I will be doing this flight, I think, a lot more with other planes. Oh, pretend like we didn't see that. But yeah, I'm gonna be doing this flight a lot with other planes because it's fun. Well, anyway, guys, thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Peace out.